So what do you mean by skillful skill? Can't
Okay.
speak. So taken by what you said. Uh, what do you mean by skillful action?
Well, that would, I mean, this modern yoga is modern. So yogis back in the day would be in caves, very isolated, some of them. But now yoga, especially with women, getting more men is to do yoga is great, and as we need the balance. But you have people who are householders doing yoga, doing asana, and they take that energy into their workplace, into their house, and that's part of sacred activism, which Andrew Harvey, I believe, talks about. And Gandhi called it satyagraha, or truth force. But not just being a yogi, so it's great getting the energy within, peacefulness within, but then also being a conduit and moving it around in your workplace or through buildings and taking action sometimes. Yoga is the ability to take action. It's the ability to have stillness in action and action in stillness. So that's the Gita.
That sounds so beautiful. It does. It's very beautiful, like the experience that we just had, which was really something special. Now, we often have people of all different age ranges, and you talked about a knowing. So people who haven't had a knowing yet with yoga, how accessible is this style, Masters of the Rainbow?
Yeah, that would be the whole point for me of, because I'm very, loose, I guess. I'm focused but loose in my approach in that, you have to be ready for whatever shows up. Whoever shows up to take a class is an attraction. You attracted them to come, they appeared, and now you need to be able to serve them, because ultimately that's what yoga is as well. So many definitions of yoga, but it's service. Enlightenment is about service and serving, and you're ultimately always sort of serving yourself in one way, if you are realizing that we're all reflecting each other and that we are all one, which is a powerful teaching. So to be of service to whoever shows up to take class, being open and letting them experience for themselves, not telling them something, telling them how it is, but setting the stage for them, setting it up, getting this in the right place, that in the right space, like feng shui, vastu, and just giving them the space, giving them the stage to find their potential, their voice, their belief, their heart, connecting into their ancestry probably is a powerful thing, and connecting into themselves perhaps as more than just this person in the world trying to do a job, hustling and bustling to get the work done, but realizing there's more than that, and you can go beyond that if you want.
We were very lucky to have one of our staff members actually lay down to have you and the whole group give energy to. She happens to be behind that camera right there, Elena. Let's talk about that a little bit. What was that about? What was the bowls that you rang during that, and what do they facilitate?
Yeah, so we used Tibetan bowls and tinctures, and the bowls have mantras on them and symbols, Sanskrit symbols. One of them is very connected to Kuan Yin and to the mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum, which is realizing the hidden jewel within the heart or within the lotus. And Elena laid down, basically did a lot of work with sort of microcosm, macrocosm. So she was sort of representing a certain section of the world. And we just all were holding space for her. And also, you're holding space for yourself, because it does, as you work on yourself, you're working on others. As you improve, everyone around you is improving. It's just the sort of the energy of attraction, all attraction, and all that stuff. So it's interesting always to explain it. Probably ask a physicist and he can tell you better than me.
Talk about the macrocosm and the microcosm. So people who aren't really familiar with this idea that you talked about, we are the universe, we have the stars within us.
So in the physics type of way, it's like if you take a piece of a hologram out, the little piece of the hologram contains the whole hologram. Or if you took a piece of the water, a drop of the ocean out, that drop contains the whole ocean, and vice versa. So that's sort of non-dual type wisdom, and that goes right into physics and unified field and fractal energy, sacred geometry type stuff. That the individual, the jiva, the individual is the totality as well. So the jiva is Shiva, would be one way of doing it, and vice versa. It's Prakriti, Purusha, the invisible, the total, is coming into this form of the body, of the earth, of Prakriti. And your tiniest cell, your one piece of your DNA, contains all that is. The pebble, the blade of grass, whatever is containing the totality. Also. So that's like simple and crazy physics, right? It's like simple. And that, the simplicity is important. So I'm like speaking about these things.
That's so beautiful. It really is. So I really want to thank you for coming, sharing everything with us today. You really have been amazing. And there's a couple of questions that I love to ask every yogi that comes to visit us. So, what is your favorite virtue?
Virtue. Dharma. Which is an interesting translation. I don't even know the translation. But that again would go into just right action.
Right action.
Taking right action.
Awesome. And excuse me as I refer to my notes so I don't miss any of these really important questions. If you could live anywhere, where would you like to live?
I'm a bit of a nomad, but the place, where I do want to put down energy in space is Hawaii, probably Kauai, the island of Kauai in Hawaii. So that is a place that's dear to my heart. And obviously, with the word mana and Masters of the Rainbow is connected to the energies of Hawaii and the Hawaiian elders, wisdom keepers, and energies of Ho'oponopono, which is a forgiveness prayer. And so it's a Hawaiian Pacific type. Enough of the cold at some point, but it's not so bad. I'm glad I'm digging being in New York for a little bit. Not often in cities, so.
It's a treat, huh?
Yeah, get in, get out.
Now, what is your favorite color and flower?
Oh yeah, the flower one. Well, someone at yoga, there's so many cool flowers, but there is a Hawaiian type orchid, but any type of orchid. We were just looking at an orchid at a yoga studio the other day, and the person's like, "Is that real? Is that a real flower, or is that a fake flower?" But orchids are gorgeous, and my sister actually has an orchid that sort of everything fell off and it just bloomed. There's so many different details on all different styles of orchids. So orchids, and then the color thing changes a lot, but I'll just go with violet right now.
Violet. Oh, and you spoke of violet so much.
Yeah.
What is the significance of violet? I have to ask.
Well, violet, is going up in the chakras, pretty high chakra, connected with violet amethyst. Perhaps, the energies of Saint Germain. We're talking about working with angels or masters or saints. Saint Germain does a lot of work with what's called the violet flame or violet dispensation, which is working with burning up and releasing karma of the individual and karma of the planet. The karma of the planet, like Europeans coming over and taking over a land, taking over a country. There's a certain imbalance of karma that happens from that. So the violet flame is like a dispensation for cleansing, purifying the negative karma. It can be as simple as like, I am the violet flame. But the violet flame moved through and was connected to the amethyst stone and the violet color, Saint Germain and other masters.